She didn't steal for greed, she stole for dinner. $4,267 worth of food and a mother's last ounce of hope. When Judge Frank Caprio read her case file, he didn't see a criminal. He saw what the law forgot: humanity. This is the moment Mercy stood taller than the law. Her sleeves are frayed at the cuffs, hands folded tight, as if holding the world together. The overhead lights hum, cold and unfeeling. Case number 2024 M1187, State versus Elena Morales. The clerk's voice slices through the silence. She stands. Beside her, Public Defender Marisol Perez straightens her papers. Across the aisle, Assistant DA Aaron Haywood clears his throat, adjusts his tie. The gallery is scattered. A few veterans, parents, students, each one watching, waiting, wondering who she is. And at the bench, seated beneath the seal of Providence, is Judge Frank Caprio. 78 years old. 38 of them spent right here, listening, weighing, believing. He leans forward, glasses low on his nose, file open before him. "Miss Morales," he says, calm, steady, human. "Good morning." "Good morning, Your Honor," she replies. Her voice is small, but unbroken. The charge? Theft. $4,267. Bread, soup, peanut butter, chicken thighs, juice boxes. No weapon, no violence. Just a mother, 2 children, and a choice made on a cold Tuesday night at 7:30. What happens next? No one in that courtroom will forget. Before we unfold the rest of this story, tell us where you're watching from and subscribe to Case Closed, where real justice isn't scripted, it's felt. It's Tuesday, 9:10 in the morning, Providence Municipal Court. The air is still cool from the night before. Outside, the city is waking up. Buses pulling away from curbs, coffee shops filling inside. The courtroom
is all wood and order. The American flag hangs in the corner, the Rhode Island flag beside it. The bench is elevated, but not so high that you can't see the man behind it. Judge Frank Caprio has heard thousands of cases: traffic violations, ordinance disputes, petty theft. He's seen people at their worst and their best. He's seen liars and saints. And over the years, he's learned to listen past the charge, past the statute, to the human being standing in front of him. Today, that human being is Elena Morales, 34 years old. She works nights at a warehouse in Pawtucket, packing boxes for an online retailer. $8.75 an hour. No benefits. Her shift runs from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. She gets home, sleeps 3 hours, gets her kids to school, sleeps another 2 if she's lucky, picks them up, makes dinner, puts them to bed, and starts again. She has no criminal record. She has no family in the state. She has $41 in her checking account. And 3 weeks ago, she walked into Fairway Market and filled a canvas bag with food she could not pay for. Aaron Haywood stands. He's young, efficient, dressed in a navy suit. He's not cruel, but he has a job to do. "Your Honor," he begins, "the facts are straightforward. On the evening of October 3rd, Ms. Morales entered Fairway Market at approximately 7:30 p.m. Surveillance footage shows her moving through 3 aisles. She selects items, places them in a reusable bag. She bypasses the register and exits through the side door." He pauses. The gallery is silent. Store policy is clear. The manager filed a complaint. Loss prevention called police. Ms. Morales was cooperative upon arrest. The total value of the stolen goods is $42.67. State recommends a fine of $300, 30 days suspended sentence, and restitution. A woman in the third row whispers to the man beside her, $300. Judge Caprio doesn't look up. He's reading. The file is thin, but he reads every word. Ms. Perez, he says, your client wishes to address the court. Marisol Perez stands. She's been a public defender for 6 years. She's tired, underpaid, and believes in every client she represents. She does, Your Honor, the judge nods. Ms. Morales, please. Elena stands. She smooths her hands over her jeans. They're clean but worn. Her sweater is a size too big. She looks at the judge, not down, not away, at him. Your Honor, I'm not here to make excuses. I took food I didn't pay for. I know that's wrong. Her voice is steady, but there's a tremor beneath it. I work full-time. I applied for assistance 3 months ago. I'm still waiting. I went to 2 food pantries. One was out of supplies. The other is only open on Wednesdays, and I work Wednesdays. She takes a breath. My daughter asked me if we were having dinner. She's 7. I promised her we would, so I went to the store. I had $17. I knew it wasn't enough. I took what I needed. I didn't run. I walked out the side door because my car was parked there. When the officer stopped me, I didn't lie. I told him what I did. She stops. Her hands are shaking. I'm not asking you to excuse it. I'm just telling you why. Judge Caprio is quiet. He looks at the file again, then at the footage timestamp, then at Elena. Ms. Morales, he says. The items you took, bread, soup, peanut butter, chicken thighs, juice boxes, yes?
Your Honor, the footage shows you passed the cereal aisle. You chose oatmeal instead. A pause. That's cheaper, isn't it? Yes, sir. You didn't take candy. You didn't take soda. You took food that lasts, food that fills. Yes, sir. The judge removes his glasses. He sets them on the file. He looks at Aaron Haywood. Mr. Haywood, you said the state recommends a fine of $300. Correct, Your Honor. Where does she get $300? Haywood hesitates. Your Honor, the fine is standard for theft of this amount. I'm asking where she gets it. The room is silent. She works full-time? The judge continues. She's waiting on assistance. She had $17. Where does she get $300? Haywood shifts his weight. The court can arrange a payment plan, $50 a month for 6 months, while she's feeding 2 children on $87.50 an hour. A man in the second row, a veteran with a purple heart pin on his jacket, nods once. Judge Caprio leans back. Mr. Haywood, let me ask you something. It's 7:30 at night. You have 2 kids. You have $17. The pantry is closed. Assistance hasn't come through. What do you do? Haywood opens his mouth, closes it. Your Honor, I understand the circumstances are difficult, but the law, I'm not asking about the law. I'm asking what you do. Haywood doesn't answer. The judge looks at the clock, then at Officer Rosario, the bailiff standing near the side door. 10-minute recess, he says. He stands. The courtroom stands. He disappears through the door behind the bench. In his chambers, the judge sits at his desk. There's a photo on the wall. His father standing in front of a fruit stand in Federal Hill, 1947. Immigrant. Worked 70 hours a week. Sent 4 kids to college.
Judge remembers a night when he was 9. His mother sent him to the corner store for milk. He came back with bread instead. She asked why. He said the milk was too expensive and he knew they needed bread more. She cried. Not because he was wrong, because he was right. Officer Rosario knocks once, steps in.
You okay, Judge? Caprio nods. You ever take something you couldn't pay for, Rosario? The officer pauses. My grandmother did. Potatoes. 1963. She was feeding 6 kids. The grocer let it go. Told her to pay next week. She did. The judge writes one word on his notepad. Context. He stands, straightens his robe, walks back into the courtroom. The gallery is still. Elena is seated, hands folded. Marisol Perez whispers something to her. Aaron Haywood is typing on his phone. All rise. They rise. Judge Caprio sits. He opens the file again. He looks at Elena. Miss Morales, I want to be very clear. What you did was theft. The law is the law. The store has a right to be made whole. Do you understand that? Yes, Your Honor. But I also want to be clear about something else. The law exists to serve people, not the other way around. And when I look at this case, I see a woman who made a desperate choice. Not a criminal choice. A desperate one. He pauses. You didn't steal a television. You didn't steal jewelry. You stole oatmeal. You stole soup. You stole food for your children. He looks at Haywood. Mr. Haywood, I'm going to ask the state to consider the full context here. Miss Morales has no record. She was cooperative. She didn't flee. She told the truth, and the items she took were necessities, not luxuries. Haywood nods slowly. The state will defer to the court's discretion. Your Honor, if you were on this bench, what would you do? Fine? Dismissal? Or something different? Judge Caprio looks at Elena. He doesn't speak immediately. He lets the silence sit. 5 seconds. 7. The lights hum. A radiator clicks. Someone in the gallery shifts in their seat. 10 seconds. 12. The room holds its breath. Then, he speaks. Miss Morales, here's what I'm going to do. You've already spent 1 night in custody. I'm counting that as time served. I'm not imposing a fine, but I am imposing conditions. He leans forward. First, you're going to complete 20 hours of community service. I'm arranging for you to serve those hours at the East Side Community Pantry. They need volunteers. You need support. You'll help others. They'll help you. Elena's eyes fill. She doesn't blink. Second, I've contacted Washington Street Family Shelter. They have emergency beds available. They also have a case manager who can help you navigate assistance applications. I'm not ordering you to go. I'm telling you the door is open. He pauses. Third, I'm sealing this record upon completion of your community service. That means this case will not appear on background checks. It will not follow you. Marisol Perez touches Elena's arm. Fourth, the store will be reimbursed, not by you. The court has a discretionary fund for situations like this. Fairway Market will receive $426. Aaron Haywood closes his folder. Miss Morales, the judge says, I'm not excusing what you did. I'm recognizing why you did it. There's a difference. You didn't steal because you wanted to. You stole because you had to. And a society that puts a mother in that position has failed. Not you. Us. He picks up his pen.
The conditions I've set are designed to help you, not punish you. The pantry will give you access to food. The shelter will give you access to support. The sealed record will give you access to a future. But you have to follow through. If you don't, we'll be back here. And next time, I won't have the same options. Do you understand? Yes, Your Honor. Her voice cracks. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. Show me you can build from here. He signs the order, hands it to the clerk. Case dismissed with conditions. Next case. Elena stands. She's shaking. Muddy Soul hugs her. Aaron Hayward nods at the judge, a small gesture of respect. The gallery is silent, and then a woman in the back row starts to clap. Slowly. Others join. Not loud, not showy, just acknowledgement. Judge Caprio raises a hand. Enough, he says, but he's smiling, just a little. Outside, 20 minutes later, Elena stands on the courthouse steps. The October air is cool. She's holding a paper with the pantry's address, a case manager's name, a phone number for the shelter. Marisol Perez gave her a coffee from the cart across the street. You're gonna be okay, Marisol says. Elena nods. She wraps her hands around the cup. The warmth spreads through her fingers. A man walking past, a delivery driver, sees her face. You all right, miss? I am, she says, and she means it. Inside, the courtroom resets. The clerk calls the next case, a parking violation. The defendant is a college student, nervous, over-apologetic. Judge Caprio listens, asks 2 questions, reduces the fine, moves on. Officer Rosario approaches the bench during a break. That was a good call, Judge. Caprio shrugs. It was the right call, not always the same thing.
The day continues. 11 more cases, speeding tickets, a noise complaint, a missed court date. The judge listens to everyone, asks questions, finds solutions. By 4 o'clock, the docket is clear. He takes off his robe, hangs it on the hook in his chambers, looks at the photo of his father one more time. Context, he says aloud. The law is made of rules, but justice is made of people. Rules tell you what happened. People tell you why. And why, Judge Frank Caprio learned a long time ago, is the only question that matters. Elena Morales walked into a courtroom expecting punishment. She walked out with a chance. Not because the law was bent, but because it was applied with mercy. And mercy, when it's earned, when it's honest, when it's wrapped in accountability, doesn't weaken the system, it strengthens it. So here's the question. Does mercy strengthen the law or reveal its truest purpose? Tell us what you think in the comments and tell where you're from watching. And if this story reminded you why compassion still matters, subscribe to Case Closed, where justice isn't just enforced, it's felt. The bench stands empty now. The lights fade. The echoes of today's verdict linger in the wood and marble. Tomorrow, the courtroom will come alive again. New faces, new mistakes, new hopes waiting to be heard. And somewhere in Providence, Judge Frank Caprio will sit once more, not to punish, but to understand. He will listen the same way he always has, with patience in his eyes and a heart that never forgot the people behind the paperwork. Because for him, justice was never about winning a case. It was about restoring faith. Faith in people. Faith in kindness. Faith that the law could still have a soul. This is his legacy. And here on Case Closed, we honor it, one story at a time.